Hello and welcome to the Wisdom Workshop. Please like the video and subscribe with all notifications turned on so that you won't miss any of our wisdom improving videos. A good crisis should never be wasted. In the years that have gone since World War II's worst days, Winston Churchill's eponymous words have acquired a more deadly connotation. This phrase was initially intended to inspire the British people with a message of optimism, but today's more pessimistic observers see that both good and bad individuals may take advantage of a catastrophe. The recovery from the coronavirus is being used as a springboard for a number of economic reforms, collectively known as the Great Reset, that aims to produce a stronger, happier, and more sustainable society. Since the World Economic Forum and King Charles III of the United Kingdom originally announced this proposal, a long list of financial experts, government officials, businessmen, and public figures have come out in favor of it. However, it has also received a good deal of criticism. A petition to oppose it received 80,000 signatures within 72 hours after it was announced, which is kind of reasonable. This proposal's entire concept strikes us as being highly concerning. The success rate of economic initiatives dubbed the Great Something has not exactly been stellar in the past. Major speculations ranging from "this plan will make us all impoverished" to "this plan will make us slaves to the reptilian people" have surfaced due to the fact that this plan is leveraging a crisis and pushing some fairly spicy ideas. To be fair though, the Great Reset's marketing has done little to aid its cause. A 2-hour symposium was held for it, but it was really dull, and 2 highly weird advertisements that explained hardly anything were made for it. So it appears that some economic concepts need to be analyzed, and in order to do so effectively, we'll need to provide answers to a few questions. What exactly does the Great Reset want to accomplish? Do these concepts have any promise? And who are the individuals driving this ideology? Plus, is this a malicious plot in fact, or is it merely the result of poor marketing? The obvious lack of support among economists is likely one of the main worries voiced by sensible observers of this enormous reset idea. Time magazine has developed a page to better explain the concept and has segmented it into stories from its prominent proponents. This includes actors, singers, co-founders of Reddit, and former monarchs. Aside from Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, there are no other economists. Now, a large part of this is due to the fact that celebrities like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will garner much more attention than someone like Nouriel Roubini or Justin Wolfers. Many great ideas were abandoned because they received little to no attention. The second reason there are no economists on this list of supporters is because the Great Reset has, for better or worse, evolved into more than just an economic strategy. It has expanded into a comprehensive wish list that includes everything from demilitarization, unbiased media, backing for the artists, and environmentally friendly construction, which, although they may be valid and significant points in and of themselves, simply serve to further confuse or, in the worst case, challenge the whole concept. As a result, for the sake of simplicity, we'll disregard all of the filler that has been added to this document and concentrate just on the economic proposals. Every recovery stimulus, both monetary and fiscal, must now include sustainable circumstances, according to the Great Reset's aims. Fiscal stimulus is a fantastic opportunity to invest money in something that needs to be addressed in the country, which is a recurring trend that we saw. Fiscal stimulus is a fantastic method to supply such expenditure if a nation urgently required new motorways, greater financing for education, or perhaps even stronger military. The main goal of stimulus is to release money into the economy and into people's hands so they may go out and splurge it. Spending like this supports expanding businesses, jobs for people, and rising standards of living. Now, just as any sort of government expenditure will do this, even tossing money from the highest building in a number of large cities, there are other options that accomplish the same goals while also producing pleasant byproducts. In addition to achieving their objective of putting funds into the economy in the shape of pay sheets for employees, contractual agreements for builders, and commissions for architects and engineers, governments who invest in the construction of new facilities will have something left over to serve a useful purpose for years to come. Similar ideas are put out by the Great Reset, although they're focused solely on creating infrastructure for green technology. Installing solar panels on your home has several benefits, including lowering energy costs to the point that the system pays for itself several times over, lowering your carbon footprint, and possibly also increasing the property's value if you reside in a suitably sunny region. However, many homes find the initial expense to be exorbitant. A refurbished and extended rail network in a metropolis like Chicago would work to remove thousands of automobiles from the road, decreasing pollution, gridlock, and wasted time for commuters, but the initial cost would undoubtedly knock it out of consideration. The idea is that getting the money out there and redistributing it through projects like these, by constructing a wind turbine, a series of hybrid vehicles, or whatever it is literally a win-win situation. Even the most die-hard opponents of environmental protection would likely concede that getting anything for tax money is preferable to getting nothing at all. And yes, that is a pretty good idea, but there are issues. It's nice to announce that we'll create some wonderful new wind farms that can power a whole city, but there's a lot that goes into it, so it may be incredibly slow to implement. Plans must be created, a proposal must be approved, land must be acquired, and turbines must be produced before tradespeople and workers can begin to be rewarded for putting this entire plan all together. While people are losing employment, starving in the streets, and not helping the economy expand, this process might take decades. The second problem with this type of strategy is that the funds are directed towards an organization that might not utilize them as much as others. A business that specializes in these kinds of contracts will manage a typical venture, say our wind farm. Since labor costs are expenses where no profit is made, their true objective will be to spend as little money as possible there. And although it's true that money will eventually flow to stockholders or be reinvested into the business, it won't go through the economy as rapidly as, say, a $1,200 check in the hands of a working-class family. What to do with the infrastructure after it's put in place is the last issue. It could be privatized in an effort to recover some of the costs. However, an essential government utility is now in the hands of a private firm, and whatever advantages it may offer will be hidden behind some form of paywall, which could be a motorway toll, increased power prices, or a more costly train ticket. This is in addition to the sometimes tense political aspects of privatization. Of course, the other option is to just keep this project as a publicly owned company, but it would mean adding another piece of infrastructure that would require government funding and would not be well received by those who don't immediately benefit from it. Having a thorough list of projects pre-planned and prepared to deploy swiftly during a recession, along with a plan for the project to cover its own expenses or be split evenly among the taxpayers who will support it, would be a viable solution to at least half of these difficulties. Of course, it's easier said than done, but if politicians had the foresight to place certain initiatives in the figurative cabinet, then no one would object to this type of approach. Governments would probably be more accepting of such programs if the Great Reset presented them with a task to develop them and have them ready for the upcoming recession. But for many individuals, businesses, and industries that are just trying to get by for the next few months, pushing for doing this now is just not a realistic aim. So while the Great Reset does propose some good ideas in hindsight, in reality, execution is another thing entirely. Thank you for watching this video. Please like the video and subscribe with all notifications turned on so that you can show your appreciation for our video, and it helps with the algorithm picking up on the video.